Ravikumar, it's fantastic to meet you. Trading out of Singapore, you've done a great job of trading the 100K Flex Challenge on a funded account. You breached one, you've passed one, you've now got the funded account. It's happened very, very quickly. You've got a fantastic $1,523 payout due as well. I'm fascinated to hear your story, how you've managed to do so well on the Flex Challenge. Tell us a little bit about your background, where you've come from.
Okay. First of all, thanks for inviting me to this for discussion after seeing my performance. So this is my first real interview video video in face to face. Yes.
Excellent.
So I'm originally from India. So I'm working here in Singapore for almost 18 years now. So I'm working in a manufacturing operations. So available during that, my available times, I'm over doing these trades over 5 to 6 years now. So I started during the COVID time. Yes. So I started having interest seeing the financial markets, and it started it comes from my stock analysis.
Right.
So where we buy stocks through our organization, Fidelity, something. So from there, I started seeing these markets, and then I jumped to Forex. Then I really got in deeper interest on this Forex indices and gold, mostly on gold.
Yeah.
So that's when I started.
Gold is very popular. Gold is such a popular instrument for so many prop traders. And it's interesting you mentioned the FX, because this actual Flex account that you've done so well on, you've got gold in there, but you're focusing largely on the indices. So,
indices.
Yeah. So talk me about your experience from Forex, and then how did you manage to arrive at trading indices?
Okay, I started following some YouTube videos. Specifically, there is one YouTuber I started following him. So he's doing gold, also indices. So I at the first it started gold is a bit tough for me. It's hard to analyze. There's a lot of rejections, a lot of wicks, and it's very, very hard for me to do that. But I focus on indices, and then I see the structures. I learn discipline, how to consistently sustain in that market is how I learn from indices. Gold is now and then I see when I have chance, good quality setup, then I jump in gold.
Yeah. I mean, gold is such it's quite thin, it's quite volatile. It's always described, the paper market is always described as being quite highly manipulative as well, generally. So, but a lot of intraday traders favor that kind of volatility. And you've obviously mirrored that in things like the NASDAQ as well, which again is thin. And also the DAX as well, the DE40, which of course is thin as well. So give me a sense of your trading style, because it all looks like it's intraday work. The longest trade was 11.5 hours, but your shortest was only 1.5 minutes. So there's obviously a full range in there. Is it purely scalping, intraday positioning? How do you sort of describe your style?
Okay, I mainly focus on structure-based trading. Scalping is it's rare. It's rarely I do, but mostly I follow on structure. I find 4 hours time frames. I see the market bias, whether it's bullish or bearish. From there, I go to 1 hour where the rejection comes. I use 200 EMAs. So where the rejection comes from there, pullbacks comes from there in 1 hour. Then I go to 15 minutes to enter my trade, whether it's giving us any a sweep or engulfing candle, or it close strongly in the 200 EMA, then that's my entry point.
Right. Would you say that when you're working like that intraday, because there's a, particularly when people are starting out as well, there can be a real obsession with saying, okay, I'm looking for intraday stuff, and they'll just stick on a 5 minute or a 15 minute all day without looking any deeper into the market at all. Would you say that it sounds like you've got quite a good blend of understanding how to compartmentalize the time frames in your mind, so you're getting the direction and you're getting part of your edge from the ability to multi-time frame analysis like that?
Yes, I usually, whenever I open my chart, I always mark my 4 hour mark, a support and demand zone. From there, I see. So that's my baseline. From there only I can identify whether the market is moving which side, then where I need to enter or which direction I have to enter.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Really interesting. And it's obviously something that when you're working intraday, you've got to pull every advantage that you can find. Talk to me about how you manage your risk. How do you go about that? Do you have a sort of like a predetermined stop all the time? Are you doing it on a percentage basis? How do you manage that downside? Because your consistency score is beautiful. I mean, it's just literally just right under that 20% level. So you're obviously got a good idea of how to manage that downside and then also the profit side. So you talk to me a little bit about that.
Generally, I use a little volume size. I'm not going into jump like a take it overnight profits. I don't do that. So my risk also same. It goes like 0.5%. I don't use 1% or 2% margins. So I do only 0.5%. So whenever I see that I am in a profit side, I will always put break even. I don't even want to go minus.
Oh, really? So you approach everything. Well, that's really interesting. Really interesting point, because I've got to be honest with you, in all my years of trading, if I think back historically, I never once clicked the button thinking that I was wrong. Have you noticed that? When you're trading, whenever now's the time to go, and you always think you're right, and obviously you're not always right, but you have that same approach as in like, I don't want to be drawn down at all once I'm in the market. Would that be fair?
That's what I would like to be. I don't want to see my capital to go down. I have to protect that. So I want to be sustained there. I don't want to be like rich one day. I want to be like a sustainable consistency. I want to see that discipline.
Yeah, it's obviously working because it's your win rate here on this account, on this funded account, is 87.1%. That is huge, absolutely massive. Your longest trade was 11 and a half hours. That was a Bitcoin trade, and your shortest was on the Nasdaq at 1 minute and 30 seconds. Your average win is on the your biggest win was on the Dow, and that was $268, and your biggest loss was on gold at $93. So you've got a lovely spread of risk to reward as well. It's worked really well for you. How did you failed the first time that you tried the Flex. How did you find working with the Flex challenge? How did you sort of see that journey?
Okay, I just started the Flex account. It's new to me. I have been with a lot of other prop firms, but this, I feel like it suits me. It suits me, the style. I don't really know what is that, but I can feel that it suits me, that Flex account. Okay. Yeah, so it's like I can see that if I enter this market going in my way, it's like maybe it's a luck, or maybe it suits me for this Flex challenge. Like I told you, I've been with other prop firms. But I've been aggressive traders, but I learned how to be consistent with this Flex account.
Right. Okay. Well, it's worked incredibly well, and you didn't find any psychological impact from breaching the first one, because you obviously got a free retake in this as well. That looks, from looking at your trade history, that there was no problem whatsoever. You just took the whole thing in your stride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like I said, right, it's like a dream to me. Like I want to sustain in this. So I work my consistency. I discipline my trading. If I get this profit, I stop. I don't even open the chart to see again.
Yeah. Okay.
To overtrade.
Yeah, no, well, it's a fascinating story, and it's a great performance. You've got that funded account now. You're working with MT5, a full Flex funded account at $100,000. You got your first payout. Long may it continue. What is the plan? Where is it you want to take your trading to go?
Yeah, like I said, right, I want to continue the same discipline, sustain in the market, and then see my growth every day, not just win one day and the next day lose. So I want to sustain in this market. And then I want to learn more on currency pairs. Yeah. Right now, my time is limited because I'm working full time. So I'm looking at 4-hour chart. So that's the reason I'm looking at the 4-hour chart. Whenever I'm at home, I can go through and check the 5-minute scalping. Because I don't have that luxury to see the 5-minute scalping during working hours.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. How do you find that fitting that in with such short term trading? How do you find fitting that in around a full time job? Because that is, particularly if you've got stressful situations going on at work, you've got to somehow be able to mentally detach and just focus on the trading like that. How do you run your day? How do you do that?
So right now I'm looking at it like I will mark my, like I said, 4 hours demand and support. Whenever I have time, I open. Then I will calculate my risk calculator, and then I see how much I have to put, and then I will wait. Time to time, I monitor.
Yeah, you see, some people say that having that work distraction actually makes you more objective, because you just look at the market functionally. You look at it from an analysis point of view, and that's it. You put your orders on, you put your trades on, and that's it. You let go because you have to, because you're working. That can sometimes actually be quite a big advantage.
Yes, I can. Time to time, I can also see. It's not like I just put and then I leave. Like I told you, right? I don't want to draw down my account.
Yeah.
So that's how I work. Like if I see profits, I will always push to break even.
Oh, it's fantastic. It looks like all the ingredients are there for long-term success. It's fantastic to speak to you, Ravikumar, and I really appreciate your time. You got that flex funded account. The first payout of $1,523 will be on its way to you very soon, and we are glad to have you with us at FTUK, and we wish you all the best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.